Look at the old original Acer Aspire One versus the new Acer Aspire One. And my reason for doing this mainly is I've always wanted to do a video about computers. I really like computers, but I don't think that I can think of, I don't think I've ever really done one. Now both of these netbooks are for the most part just the way you would buy them, just the way they came out of the box, which other than this one here, which has had a new battery put in it. And the reason why is the original battery here, not in this one, in another one I have, actually went bad. So I actually bought two extended life batteries for that one, which is why you can see it kind of sticks up on the bottom there. I really like it though, because I get an average of about 2 hours battery life out of this one with the original battery still in it, which still works great, I might add. And this one here, I'm getting about 12 to 14 hours of battery life out of it with the extended battery, so I'm super happy about that. I bought it on Amazon for like 30 bucks, something like that. So first of all, I mean, you'll notice right away there is a definite styling difference between the two, and I don't quite understand why Acer likes to give that glossy look to like everything they do, but they do, so it is what it is. They both look nice. I like them both. The one thing that I don't like though is if you look at the older one, go ahead and unplug that external hard drive, we don't need that. You've got right here an SD card slot, USB port, your network cable, and a port for an external monitor. And then on the other side you've got your microphone, your headphones, another USB, which I have a wireless mouse plugged into now, as well as another SD slot. And I don't know why. I've used them both, and I really like the two SD slots on the old one. The new one, however, you'll see has your network cable, your monitor plug, your USB port, and then on the other side your SD card slot, your headphones, your microphone, another USB, and another USB, which again I have a wireless mouse plugged into. It only has, as you saw, one USB port, which, I'm sorry, one SD card slot, which I don't really like. I really like the SD card slot in this, the two of them on each side in this older one, and that's something we'll get to here after a little bit. So now we'll open them. And you can see they are a little bit dirty. And the first thing you'll notice right off is the new one is bigger. I don't remember the exact, I think it's like 11 inch and 9 inch. I don't remember, I apologize for that, but obviously you can see this one's bigger. The keyboard, not so much bigger. The touchpad's a lot bigger. It's in a different configuration where it just has this one bar going across for your left and your right click, whereas you have two separate buttons and a much smaller touchpad on this one. And now we'll turn them on, and let's see if we can get them turned on both at the same time and see what the startup time is on each one of them. Okay, they're going. No real frills here at the beginning, obviously. Seems like the old one is a little bit quicker so far. And the old one is started and ready to go, and the new one is just starting for me to put my password in. Now that they're both started up, let me explain. By new and old, I don't necessarily mean the newest model, I mean the newest style. This old one, I bought it right when the Aspire One series just came out. It's got Windows XP on it. This one has Windows 7. Now they do have newer models in the same styling that come with Windows 8, and I just haven't purchased or haven't even upgraded to Windows 8 yet, because From the reviews I've seen and the stuff I've read, I really don't like Windows 8. But there is good and bad in both of these. Now, first of all, what I like about the newer one is it's a little bit bigger. I really like it that it's a little bit bigger. I like some of the stuff that Windows 7 does. What I don't like is this model comes with the Windows 7 Starter Edition, which pretty much gets rid of everything. That background you see there is all you're going to get. You don't even have the ability to choose your background, whereas on the Windows XP one, it pretty much comes with the full version of Windows XP. You can do anything on it that you would do on a regular desktop or a laptop computer. Another thing that is kind of bad about the new one is the speed. Windows 7 is just deadly slow, and there's so many things you can do to speed it up, one of which I use the Ready Boost program, which is why I have the SD card in there. I use an 8GB SD card and the Ready Boost that comes with Windows 7, which really does help. So I highly recommend, if you have one of these newer styles that comes with Windows 7 on it, you use that SD card with the Ready Boost, and it makes a world of difference right off the bat. Now, to continue on with the good and the bad, video playback, more specifically high definition video playback. As far as the old original Aspire One goes, don't even bother. I've tried reinstalling software, I've tried using the Acer e-recovery management, and it does no good. You go on YouTube, you try to play back a high definition video, or any video really on this one, and you have problems with the thing just freezing up. And I'm not saying everybody's going to have this problem, but that was a big problem that I had. I don't even bother with it anymore. However, I have used this older Aspire One as a media center in my living room using the monitor cable in my flat screen TV, and used it to play movies on, and have not had any issues. It's performed very, very well. No skipping using the regular Windows Media Player or the QuickTime Player. And now we move on to this one, where video playback has never, ever, ever been an issue, regardless if it's in 320p or 1080p, true high definition or not, anything. It's played back video every time, no problem. And that is another reason why I really, really like this new one. Now, one of the downfalls about this new one is the camera. You see, the camera, for some reason, and of course now I'm going to show myself in here, which is probably something you guys don't want to see, but you've got the camera on the new one that, well, the old one came up first, so let's talk about the old one. The camera on the old one records in 600 by 800, I believe it is, whereas the camera on the new one will only record in 320 by 240. Now, of course, you can go down and change it to 640 by 480. It is, I'm sorry, that's what that one is, 640 by 480. You change this one to 640 by 480, and you have the ability to take a still picture but not a video. You only have the ability to take a video in 320 by 240, where this one will take the full videos. But of course, you're not buying one of these, I don't imagine, to make high definition YouTube videos or any videos really. I think the main purpose for the cameras on these systems is probably for maybe video conferencing, using Skype. I've used Skype on both of them, both in video calls and regular calls with no problem at all. So I don't assume too many people are concerned about it. What bothers me the most about this newer one, this is the one I take everywhere with me. This is the one that has all my business stuff on it, and I make a lot of vlogs. And if I want to film a vlog from the road, I just simply can't use this computer to use the camera in the computer. Even if it was the quality of that one, I can probably use it and get away with it, but the low quality that films in is just no good at all, and there's absolutely no concern or word from Acer that they ever plan on upgrading it in any way, because it is technically a better camera in this computer. It's a software problem that's holding the camera back and not allowing it to live up to its full potential. Now, like I said, I do, as you can see, I use wireless mice on both of them. I've used wireless keyboards as well, and they've worked no problem. I've used the an external monitor as well as a dual display with the external monitor. No problem with either one. They both perform the same. I've used a Bluetooth adapter on this old one. I have not used one on the new one yet. I burned out it on the old one, and I haven't gotten a new adapter yet, so I haven't had the ability to check that. Now, one bad thing, the thing that I probably don't like about either of these netbooks the most is all the crap that they come pre-installed with. The McAfee antivirus, I don't want anything to do with that. I use the Microsoft Security Essentials. I mean, everything I have has legal operating systems, so there's no problem, and I'm really happy with the Security Essentials from Microsoft. It doesn't cost you anything. One thing I did notice is on both of these computers, I've downloaded and installed the fan and temperature monitoring program, and at the same time I've also installed Speed Fan on both of them. And I do notice on the older one there are discrepancies in the temperatures on it, and I'll zoom in and try to show you if I can keep the camera from shaking around too much. You see we're running at 53 right there, and you go down there and it says we're running at right there 61 Celsius, whereas you go to this other one, we've got 54 and 56. So I mean, there's slight discrepancies on the new one. The new one tends to kind of catch up with itself. It seems like Speed Fan actually reads the temperature quicker or refreshes quicker than the Aspire One program at the bottom there, whereas this one, it just never really reads that good at all. Now, I've heard complaints on the internet, I've heard them in videos, and I've also read a lot of them about the fan noise. Now, I don't see, I've got my fan on at 50 and it's at 54. I've got my fan on at 50 and that's at 61. So these fans are running full speed right now. Let's stop and listen. All I hear is the fan in the camera running right now. I don't hear any fans running, so I'm not 100% sure what people are talking about. I have 3 of these computers in the household. Again, 2 of the newer ones and this one older one, and I don't see an issue at all with the fans. Now let's dig into what's really under the hood on these things. Now we'll go ahead and zoom in on these screens so you can see for yourself. We're pretty much dealing with the same. We've got 1.6 gigahertz processor and 0.98 gigabytes of RAM. I never understood why it reached 0.98 gigabytes of RAM. But we go over here and we'll see, where are we? We've got 1 gigabyte of memory and again a 1.66 gigahertz processor, which basically kind of makes them the same machine. Now again, I've installed that 8 gigabyte SD card in this one and used the Ready Boost for it, which greatly increased the performance. However, the performance on the Windows XP machine is still so much better. Now, of course, this is the program I use to keep track of my battery health, and I recommend everybody get this. It's called it's a simple program called Battery Info, and of course the bottom layers have not refreshed yet because I just opened the software. They'll refresh eventually, but it tells you how long a charge you have, the general health of your battery, and just pretty much everything about your battery. Now, like I said, I've got a new battery in this one, an extended battery that I really love. I would have to recommend that to be the first modification, of course, after you uninstall all of the extra software that these things come with that you just don't want or don't need. Get yourself an extended battery. It's only like 20 or 30 bucks, and you really won't be sorry. And at the same time, get yourself a nice cleaner too. You can see how dirty this thing has gotten. This one I just recently cleaned, and thankfully they don't necessarily use that gloss finish on this one underneath the monitor as they do on this one. They both use it on top though, and like I said, they're a pain in the butt to get cleaned. As far as gaming systems, don't hold your breath. I mean, they both can play. I've got an old game called 1602 AD. If you guys don't know what it is, just do a search right here on YouTube or on the internet. It's an older game, but it's kind of a lot of fun. Both of these play it no problem. However, something like Modern Warfare or something, it won't even I mean, it'll install, but it won't even start up on them. And don't even think about it. I would have to say they're just best for minor internet browsing, maybe some social media fun, some internet. Like I said, the conference calling or using Skype, talking to friends or family, or even vlogging on, they're okay if you don't mind the very, very poor quality of the cameras on them. Now in closing, I just want to say I did have a 17-inch widescreen Acer laptop that I actually gave to my son because I just didn't care for it too much, and I had these netbooks. I really, really like both of these netbooks. When they burn out one day, I'll probably buy a newer one. I'm not too thrilled about Windows 8. That'll probably be the first thing to go if I do get another one. But I'd have to say, out of both of these, I'm much more impressed with the older one. I used the older one quite a lot out in my workshop. It's subjected to extremes in temperatures. I've never ever had an issue with it. I bought it in 2009. It's 4 years old now. I've never had an issue with it. This one here is about 2 years old, and I can't say I've had an issue with it. Like I said, the other one, the battery went bad pretty quick, which is unfortunate, but this one in particular, the battery is still good in the original battery. I just got an extended battery for it anyway because I was getting one for the other one as well. This one, however, I can honestly say I have never seen any sort of laptop or mobile computing device go through what this one has gone through and still keep ticking. I spilled coffee on it. I don't recommend that. I don't recommend you drink liquids around your computers at all, but I have spilled a cup of coffee right over the top of the keyboard here. Unplugged, pulled the battery out, let it dry for a few days, plugged it back in, no problem. And so I'd have to say, as far as just really holding up to abuse, this one is probably the best. And not only that, the nice blue color of it really matches my truck, and I really like that about it. But I mean, as far as features go and the size and everything, I gotta go with this one. This is the one I use every single day, and I just like it a lot. Anyway, guys, that's my quick review of the new and the old Acer Aspire One. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment below. If it's not something I answered in this video, I got no problem opening up either one of these computers and finding out the answer for you. So leave a comment, subscribe if you like the video, and if you want to see more, let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time.